On June 14th, myself, along with the layout master, traveled to Nesquehoning, Pennsylvania to ride the Reading and Northern Railroad in order to see Union Pacific Big Boy 4014. The Union Pacific teamed up with Norfolk Southern to bring the 4014 to the East Coast to celebrate the United States sesquicentennial. During its East Coast visit, the Union Pacific Big Boy pulled an excursion from Nesquehoning to Pittston as a fundraising event for the Union Pacific Museum.
My expertise right here. Western railroads. I love UP streamliners. Look at all that smoke.
I feel like I'm in a hobby shop.
I can't believe I'm looking at a UP train. The fact they even brought this thing out here is amazing.
The 4014 is one of 25 Union Pacific Big Boys built between 1941 and 44. Originally assigned between Green River and Ogden to tackle the Wasatch Grade, they were eventually relocated to Cheyenne and worked over Sherman Hill. They also went as far west as North Platte, Nebraska, and as far south as Denver, Colorado. Like all railroads did, the Union Pacific began to dieselize with EMD diesels and GE gas turbines. In their last years, the Big Boys, as well as the 4664 Challengers, were only used in the summer and fall during the Union Pacific's busy season. The last revenue run of a Big Boy was on July 21st, 1959. Many Big Boys were stored serviceable until 1961, when they were officially stricken off the roster. Out of the 25 Union Pacific Big Boys built, 17 were scrapped. Union Pacific 4014 was sent to Pomona, California for static display. Union Pacific reacquired the engine in 2013, and in 2019 she steamed again, doing a doubleheader with 844 to Ogden, Utah to celebrate the anniversary of the Golden Spike. In order to get the train facing in the right direction to go to Pittston, the 4014 must run east to Hawks, where there's a Y to turn it.
believe we just witnessed that.
I can't believe it too. I'm like blown away right now. This is crazy.
I think that's when it's really gonna take off. Depending on when they bring it back, I don't know how far Hawks Y is.
Extra waters in the bag, just in case. And they're pretty cold too.
Thank you.
I know this heat.
Pulling our train today is Blue Mountain and Reading 2102. 2102, believe it or not, started life in 1925 as an I-10SA consolidation. During World War II, with the Reading needed more power, the Reading took 30 of their consolidations to their Reading shops and converted them into 484 Northerns. When regular steam service ended on the Reading, 4 T1s were kept standby for their own steam program called the Reading Iron Horse Rambles. After the Rambles ended, 2102 were sold to Seams Tours of Akron, Ohio, where it ran various excursions throughout the eastern United States. In 1986, Andy Muller bought 2102 for the Reading, Blue Mountain, and Northern, and it ran excursions there until 1991. The locomotive began restoration back to life in 2016, and in 2021, it steamed again, pulling its first excursion from Reading Outer Station to Jim Thorpe and return. Assisting the 2102 today is 2 SD50-2 diesel locomotives. Our passenger train is mostly made up of ex-DL&W electric MU cars. The Reading and Northern purchased these cars from New Jersey Transit when they retired them in the early 80s and replaced them with Arrow 3s.
You see it? Whoa!
That close. That's crazy.
It's like a clip from the trees, I think. That was amazing.
Classrooms. This location is ideally situated right in the middle of our main line between North Reading and Winston.
all the people.
The section of track we're traveling on now is the Jersey Central's ex-Nexquahoning branch.
Forgot about the tunnel.
Crossing the Lehigh River and Norfolk Southern's Lehigh line on a bridge, we will soon be entering Lehigh Gorge State Park.
Another bridge on your right. This bridge also spans the Lehigh River and provides a connection for both rail and pedestrians between Jim Thorpe and Lehigh Gorge State Park. Our daily Lehigh Gorge State railway trains, as well as our...
That's Norfolk Southern down there. That's Norfolk Southern ex-Lehigh Valley. That's ex-Lehigh Valley that's crossed over.
The next bridge we pass through is the Colport Trestle. Colport Trestle spans the former Lehigh Valley Railroad, once owned by Asa Packer. Crosses over what is now Great Northern's Lehigh Branch and the Norfolk Southern Railway's Lehigh Line. The area on your left leads to Glendogo Falls, the triple waterfall nestled high in the mountains. It's the site of the legend of the beautiful Native American princess.
Now our train is traveling on what used to be the Lehigh Valley main line through the gorge. The Jersey Central and Lehigh Valley main lines paralleled each other from Jersey City all the way to Pennsylvania. In 1965, to save on costs, the two railroads consolidated their Pennsylvania operations. This went on until 1972, when the C&J pulled out of Pennsylvania completely, leaving all track to the Lehigh Valley. The bike path beside our train is the ex-Jersey Central main line that was ripped up in the 90s and turned into a bike path. 2102 was putting on a show as she works up grade through the Lehigh Gorge.
Working hard. Get up the grade. Oh, I love that. I love seeing teammates work hard like that. That's ex-C&J, that bridge. The C&J main was abandoned. That's the abandoned C&J main. You hear how that sound coming through here? Imagine how the big boy gonna sound working up grade. Perfect. Thank you, man. they're not supposed to be standing there, but okay. Wow, look at all these people. Well, we know why they're really here.
Bridgeport.
Nearing Mountaintop, they passed the regular passenger trains from Pittston to Jim Thorpe on a siding. 2102 will stop here to take on water and wait for the big boy to catch up for some side-by-side running.
Folks, be watching on the running right-hand side of the train. We will be passing our weekend excursion train from Pittston to Jim Thorpe.
Wow, that's a lot. You only had one car on it. Look how far we came.
Hey, a short train is still a train, folks.
I didn't know they did a regular run from
I think we all kept gaining on it a little bit. Like this. Yeah. This is crazy.
This guy's celebrity.
Yeah. Me too. I want us to get a little bit ahead of it. Yeah. I think we all kept gaining on it a little bit. Like this. Yeah. This is crazy.
This guy's celebrity.
Yeah. Me too.
a little further up. That we're actually witnessing this. And I thought I'd never see a UP engine up close, let alone a steam engine. Not up this close.
I see why they pick mountaintop. That scared the hell out of me. Yeah. Whoa! Look at all these people! Wow! Now a lot of them people probably don't even know about trains, so just see it and just think it's cool. People are getting out their cars. And some of these people probably aren't even rail things. After arriving in Pittston, the 2102 was cut off from the train and turned around on the Y. The diesels would follow with the passenger train, allowing the big boy to pull into Pittston Station. All the UP passenger cars on this train are original. They saw service on classic streamline trains such as the City of Los Angeles, City of San Francisco, City of Denver, Portland Rose, the Challenger, and others. The diesels accompanying the big boy are SD70Ms, the Abraham Lincoln 1616, and the 1776. The passenger cars at the rear of the train were added when the big boy crossed over into Norfolk Southern Territory. The most interesting one is the full-length dome, which is a former Santa Fe car. The only two other railroads that used great domes were the Milwaukee Road and the Great Northern. Although the Canadian National bought some second-hand ones from the Milwaukee Road to use on their Super Continental passenger train. They call them dome liners.
What's up?
Last thing you're gonna do is break it.
I put the brakes on.
The big boy will travel east to DuPont. From DuPont, the 4014 in its train will reverse up the Reading and Northern's Taylor branch to reach Norfolk Southern's Taylor Yard in Taylor, Pennsylvania. From Taylor, the 4014 will be switched onto the Delaware-Lackawanna Railroad to reach the Steamtown National Historic Site. The scene of our train passing the 4014 on the branch line connecting track and the final scene of the 2102 storming over the Lehigh Bridge was filmed by the layout master.